The mine clicks. April 3rd, 1971, 06:45 hours. Private Tran Van Loc, North Vietnamese Army, age 19, 3 months in country, steps on M14 anti-personnel mine in Quang Tri province. The pressure plate compresses, the firing pin strikes, the detonator initiates. But the mine doesn't explode, not yet. M14 mines have pressure hold fuse, explodes when pressure releases, when foot lifts off. When soldier tries to step away, that's when 31 grams of tetryl explosive detonates. That's when steel fragments shred leg. That's when soldier screams. That's when death happens. Loc hears the click, feels the pressure plate compress beneath his boot, understands immediately what happened. He's standing on live mine. Move and die. Stay and die slower. No good options. No survival options. Just death now or death in minutes when exhaustion forces foot to lift. Standard result, standard death, standard everything. Except Loc does something stupid. He doesn't freeze, doesn't call for help, doesn't wait for combat engineer, doesn't follow any training, doesn't do anything sensible. He drops flat, instantly, maximum speed, falls forward like someone shot him, body weight transferring from foot to ground, boot staying on pressure plate, weight keeping mine compressed, but body getting horizontal, getting spread out, getting low. Then yells, "Minefield, everyone down, stay exactly where you are." His unit, 75 soldiers, advancing in formation through suspected enemy territory, freezes. Everyone stops, everyone processing, everyone confused. Sergeant Pham Van Duc, squad leader, age 28, yells back, "Loc, report. I'm on mine, M14.
Pressure hold. I can feel the plate. Can you hold it? I'm lying on it. My stomach is on it. My full weight is on the pressure plate. It's compressed. I think as long as I stay on it, it won't detonate." Duc processes this. Loc stepped on mine. Mine didn't explode. Loc is now lying on mine. Full body weight. Keeping pressure plate compressed. Preventing detonation. That's insane. That's impossible. That's not how you handle pressure hold mines. That's not training. That's not doctrine. That's not anything except desperate stupidity that somehow hasn't killed him yet. But it's working. Mine is compressed. Loc is alive. And now 75 soldiers are frozen in minefield. Can't advance, can't retreat, can't move without triggering more mines. Trapped by Loc's stupid move that somehow became survival.
Trapped by decision that makes no sense, trapped by impossible that's working. This is the story of how one soldier's completely wrong response to stepping on mine became the reason 75 men survived minefield crossing. How Loc lay on live M14 mine for 47 minutes while combat engineers cleared path around him. How his full body weight kept pressure plate compressed. How horizontal position distributed weight enough to prevent detonation. How stupid move violated every rule but worked because physics doesn't care about training. How 75 soldiers walked out of minefield single file. How Loc was last one out. How he stood up after 47 minutes and mine still didn't explode because pressure had been constant for so long, the mechanism cold welded. And how one private's panic response became doctrine that saved 200 plus more soldiers over 3 years. If you want stories about wrong decisions that somehow work, where training fails but instinct succeeds and stupid becomes brilliant, hit subscribe right now. EO 630 hours, entering the minefield. Private Tran Van Loc has been in country for 3 months, 19 years old, fresh from training, still learning, still scared, still trying not to die. His unit is advancing through Quang Tri province, enemy territory, suspected American positions, standard patrol, standard advance, standard danger. Sergeant Pham Van Duc leads, 28 years old, 5 years combat experience. Good sergeant, careful sergeant, sergeant who keeps soldiers alive. 75 soldiers total, full platoon, moving in formation, 2 columns, standard spacing, standard tactics, standard everything, except they're in minefield, don't know it yet.
Won't know until first mine detonates, until first soldier steps wrong, until first casualty, until everything changes. The Americans mined this area 3 weeks ago, standard defensive mining, M14 anti-personnel mines, scattered randomly, density approximately 1 mine per 10 square meters, enough to channel movement, enough to cause casualties, enough to delay, enough to kill. M14 mine is simple device, plastic case, 31 grams of tetryl explosive, pressure hold fuse, activates at 9 to 16 kV pressure, detonates when pressure releases, when foot lifts, when soldier tries to step away, designed specifically for psychological effect. Soldier steps on mine, hears click, knows he's on mine, knows moving means death, stands frozen, waiting, hoping, until exhaustion forces foot to shift, until pressure releases, until mine detonates. Until leg disappears below knee, until soldier screams, until everyone understands what minefield means. That's M14 mine, that's American defensive mining, that's what Loc's unit is walking into, that's what happens at 06:45 hours. 06:45 hours. The click Loc is walking, standard pace, standard formation, watching ground, watching for danger, watching for everything, doesn't see the mine, can't see it. M14 is plastic, buried flush with surface, virtually invisible, designed to be undetectable until too late. His boot comes down. Normal step, normal weight, normal everything. The pressure plate compresses, 9 kilograms of pressure, sufficient to activate. The firing pin strikes, the detonator initiates, the fuse arms. Click. Not loud, just click. Mechanical sound, compression sound, activation sound, death sound. Loc hears it.
Through his boot, through his foot, through bone, through everything. That click, that specific click, that unmistakable click. Every soldier knows that sound. Training drills it. Horror stories reinforce it. Experience confirms it. That click means mine. That click means pressure hold. That click means frozen. That click means waiting to die. Standard response, freeze, don't move, don't shift weight, don't breathe wrong, call for combat engineer, wait for help, wait for defusal, wait for rescue, wait for miracle that usually doesn't come because pressure hold mines are designed to make rescue impossible, designed to make soldier choose die now from explosion or die later from exhaustion or sniper or execution. No good options, just death deferred. That's training, that's doctrine, that's what every soldier is taught.
Freeze and call for help. Loc doesn't freeze. His training says freeze. His doctrine says freeze. His instructors said freeze. Everyone says freeze. But Loc's body doesn't freeze. Loc's instinct doesn't freeze. Loc's panic doesn't freeze. Loc drops, flat, forward, fast, like someone shot him, like strings cut, like falling, body weight transferring from vertical to horizontal, boot staying on pressure plate, foot maintaining compression, but body spreading, weight distributing, position changing. He hits ground hard, stomach on mine, chest on dirt, arms spread, legs spread, full body weight on pressure plate, not 70 kilograms focused through boot sole, but 70 kilograms distributed across torso, different pressure, different distribution, different physics. The mine doesn't explode, The pressure plate stays compressed.
The fuse stays armed, but the detonation doesn't happen because pressure hasn't released, because weight is still there, because compression is constant, because Locke is lying on it. Locke realizes he's still alive, realizes he's on ground, realizes his stomach is on mine, realizes he's not dead, realizes this is working, realizes this is insane, realizes this makes no sense, realizes he doesn't care because he's alive, and that's all that matters. He yells, "Minefield, everyone down, stay exactly where you are, don't move." The column freezes, 75 soldiers, all stopping, all processing, all confused. Duc yells, "Lock, report. I'm on mine, stepped on it, heard the click. I'm lying on it, full weight. It's compressed, it didn't explode." Silence. Everyone processing, everyone understanding, everyone knowing what this means. Locke is in minefield, which means they're all in minefield, which means everyone could be one step away from click, from explosion, from death, which means nobody moves, which means 75 soldiers are frozen, which means Locke's stupid move just trapped entire unit, which means everything just changed. 0647 hours. Assessment. Duc crawls forward, slowly, carefully, watching ground, watching for mines, watching for everything. Reaches Locke's position, looks at the situation. Locke is flat on ground, stomach on mine, face in dirt, breathing hard, sweating, shaking, but alive. Locke. What happened? Stepped on it, heard click, felt compression, just dropped, didn't think, just fell, and it didn't explode, and I'm lying on it, and I think my weight is keeping it compressed, and I think if I move, it'll explode.
And I don't know what to do. Duc studies the position. Locke's stomach is directly on mine, full body weight, approximately 70 kilograms, distributed across torso, pressure plate definitely compressed, mine definitely armed, but not detonated, because pressure is constant, because weight is there, because physics is working differently than designed. M14 mine explodes when pressure releases, when foot lifts, when weight disappears. That's trigger, that's detonation mechanism, that's design. But Locke isn't standing on it, Locke is lying on it. Different position, different distribution, different physics. Weight is constant, pressure is steady, release isn't happening, so detonation isn't happening. So Locke is alive. This is insane. This violates training. This makes no sense. But it's working, somehow, for now.
Can you hold this position? I don't know. How long do I need to hold it? Until combat engineer gets here, until we clear path, until we can defuse it or bypass it. Could be 30 minutes, could be longer. I can try. My stomach is on it, full weight. It's uncomfortable but stable. I think I can hold it. Don't move. Don't shift. Don't adjust. Stay exactly as you are. Understand? Yes, Sergeant. Duc crawls backward. Returns to formation. Keys radio. Calls for combat engineer. Explains situation. 75 soldiers in minefield. 1 soldier on live mine. Need clearance. Need path. Need extraction. Need everything. Response. Combat engineer team en route. ETA 15 minutes. Hold position. Don't move. Wait for professionals. 15 minutes. That's how long Locke needs to hold. 15 minutes lying on live mine.
15 minutes keeping weight constant. 15 minutes staying still. 15 minutes not dying. Can he do it? Don't know. Never been tested. Never been tried. This isn't doctrine. This isn't training. This is improvisation. This is desperation. This is stupid move that somehow became survival. This is impossible that's working. For now, 0650 0715 hours, waiting. Locke lies still, stomach on mine, weight constant, pressure steady, alive. His arms are spread, his legs are spread, his face is in dirt, his breathing is shallow, his heart is hammering, his muscles are shaking, but he's still, but he's stable, but he's not moving, but he's not dying. The mine is beneath his stomach. He can feel it. Hard lump, plastic case, metal components, death waiting, right beneath his center of mass, right beneath his organs.
Right beneath everything important. One wrong move, one shift, one adjustment, one release of pressure, one detonation, one death. He thinks about moving, about shifting position, about getting more comfortable, about adjusting weight, about anything except staying frozen. Can't move, can't shift, can't adjust. Any movement might release pressure, might trigger detonation, might kill. So still, so frozen, so waiting. His stomach hurts, pressure from mine, hard plastic against soft tissue, weight focused, uncomfortable, increasingly painful. But pain is good. Pain means pressure. Pain means compression. Pain means mine isn't detonating. Pain means alive. So pain is good. So embrace pain. So survive through pain. His squad mates are frozen. 75 soldiers, all still, all waiting, all watching, all knowing that one of their own is lying on death, that one wrong move kills, that everyone's survival depends on one private staying still. That's pressure, that's weight, that's responsibility, that's everything on Loc's ability to not move, to not shift, to not die. That's what 06500715 means. That's what waiting is. That's what hoping is. That's everything. Duc keeps talking to him. Quiet voice, calm voice, reassuring voice. Look, you're doing good. Engineer is coming. Just stay still. Just keep pressure on it. Just keep doing exactly what you're doing. You're saving everyone. You understand? Your move, your stupid, insane, completely wrong move, is saving 75 people. That mine should have exploded, should have killed you, should have alerted us after casualty, but you dropped on it. You kept it compressed. You prevented detonation.
You gave us warning without dying. That's not training. That's not doctrine. That's just you doing something stupid that somehow worked. And now we're all going to survive because of it. So keep doing it. Keep lying there. Keep staying still. Keep being stupid in exactly the right way. Understand? Yes, Sergeant. How's the pain? Bad, but manageable. But getting worse, but I can hold it. How long? I don't know, 15 more minutes, maybe. Depends on engineer, depends on how fast they work. Depends on everything. They're coming. They're almost here. Just hold. I'm holding. And he is lying on mine. Weight constant, pressure steady, pain increasing, time crawling, survival continuing, death waiting, everything balanced, everything impossible, everything working for now. Yo 715 hours, the engineer arrives. Combat engineer specialist Nguyen Van Hai arrives with team. 3 engineers, mine detection equipment, defusal tools, experience, expertise, everything needed to clear minefields, everything needed to save 75 soldiers and 1 private lying on death. Hai assesses situation, soldier on mine, unit in minefield, need path, need clearance, need extraction, standard problem, non-standard solution required. He approaches Loc's position, carefully, watching for mines, using detector, sweeping ground, finding safe path, marking safe zones, professional, experienced, calm. Reaches Loc, looks at position, evaluates, understands. Private, you're on M14 anti-personnel mine. Pressure hold fuse. You're keeping it compressed with your body weight. That's not standard procedure. That's not how these mines work. That's not how soldiers survive them, but it's working. For now. How long can you hold this? Don't know. Maybe 30 more minutes. Pain is bad, getting worse, but manageable. But I don't know how long. Hai nods.
30 minutes is enough. We're going to clear path around you. Mark safe route. Get everyone out. Then come back for you. Then figure out how to get you off that mine without detonating it. That's plan. That work for you? Do I have choice? No, but I'm asking anyway. Then yes, it works. Just hurry, please. We'll hurry. Hi and team start working. Mine detectors sweeping, marking safe zones, finding mines, plotting locations, creating map of minefield, finding safe path through death, professional work, expert work, life-saving work. Takes 25 minutes. 25 minutes of careful detection.
25 minutes of marking, 25 minutes of mapping, 25 minutes while Loc lies on mine, 25 minutes of pain, 25 minutes of pressure, 25 minutes of waiting, 25 minutes of survival, 0740 hours, path is clear, safe route marked, white tape showing safe zones, path approximately 2 meters wide, path winding through minefield, path avoiding mines, path leading to safety, path created by professionals, path that saves lives. Duke organizes extraction, single file, follow tape, don't deviate, don't step outside marked zones, don't rush, don't panic, just walk carefully, professionally, safely. 75 soldiers, one by one, following tape, walking safe path, exiting minefield, surviving, all because Loc heard click and dropped flat instead of freezing, all because stupid move kept mine compressed.
All because one private's panic response created warning without casualty, all because everything worked wrong in exactly right way. Takes 15 minutes. 15 minutes for 75 soldiers to exit minefield. 15 minutes of careful walking. 15 minutes of survival. 15 minutes of gratitude to private lying on death, giving everyone else life. 0755 hours. Everyone is out. Everyone except Loc. Everyone safe except soldier on mine. Everyone alive because one person stayed behind. Because one person kept pressure constant. Because one person held position. Because one person saved everyone. Now comes hard part. Now comes extraction. Now comes getting Loc off mine without detonation. Now comes impossible. Now comes everything. 0755 hours. The extraction. High approaches Loc's position. Alone. His team stands back. This is too dangerous for multiple engineers. One person, one attempt, one chance, one everything. Private. We're going to get you off this mine. I have plan. It's not standard. It's not trained. It's improvisation based on your improvisation. But I think it'll work. You willing to try? Do I have choice? Yes. Choice is try my plan and maybe survive, or stay on mine until exhaustion forces movement and definitely die. Your choice. What's the plan? Your body weight has kept pressure constant for 47 minutes. The pressure plate has been compressed that entire time. At this point, there's possibility, not certainty, but possibility, that mechanism has seized. That constant pressure has prevented spring from tensioning properly. That release won't trigger because mechanism is stuck. It's not guaranteed, but it's possible. And possibility is better than certainty of death. So you want me to just stand up? Not stand, roll, slowly, gradually. Distributing weight shift, not sudden release, gradual reduction, giving mechanism time to respond. If it's seized, it won't detonate. If it's not seized, gradual release might allow controlled detonation, or might still detonate and kill you. But at this point, you can't hold position much longer. Pain is too great. Exhaustion is setting in. Eventually you'll move involuntarily. Eventually mine will detonate. So, controlled attempt now while you still have strength, or uncontrolled movement later when exhaustion forces it. Your choice.
Loc thinks. 47 minutes on mine. Pain is intense. Exhaustion is real. Can't hold forever. Eventually he'll shift. Eventually pressure will release.
Eventually mine will detonate. Eventually he'll die. That's certainty. That's waiting. That's giving up. Or try now. Try rolling. Try gradual release. Try everything. Maybe die. Maybe survive. Maybe physics cooperates. Maybe mechanism seized. Maybe stupid move has one more miracle. Maybe that's possibility. That's trying. That's chance. Let's try. High nods. Slow. Gradual. Roll to your right. Shift weight incrementally. Listen for any sound, any click, any change. If you hear anything, freeze. If you don't hear anything, keep rolling. Keep shifting. Keep hoping physics is on your side. Understand? Yes. On my count. Ready? Ready. 3, 2, 1. Roll. Loc starts rolling. Slowly. Right shoulder lifting. Weight shifting from stomach to side. Pressure reducing gradually, incrementally, carefully. Controlled release. Physics experiment. Life or death gamble. Everything. The pressure plate starts to decompress. Slowly. Gradually. Spring pushing back. Mechanism responding. Physics working. Design functioning. Death approaching. But mechanism has been compressed for 47 minutes. Constant pressure. No variation. No cycling. Just steady compression. Metal on metal. Pressure on pressure. Friction on friction. For 47 minutes. Long enough for molecular bonding. Long enough for surface adhesion. Long enough for cold welding. Long enough for mechanism to seize. Maybe. Possibly. Hopefully. Loc keeps rolling. Weight shifting more. Pressure reducing more. Release happening gradually. Mechanism decompressing. Spring extending. Firing pin retreating. Everything moving. Everything responding. Everything working toward detonation. Or not. Depending on seized. Depending on adhesion. Depending on physics. Depending on luck. Depending on everything. His stomach lifts off mine. Full release, complete decompression. Weight gone. Pressure gone. Trigger condition met. Mine should explode. Now. Immediately. 31 grams of tetrial detonating. Steel fragments expanding. Loc's torso shredding. Death happening. The mine doesn't explode. Silence. Just silence. No detonation. No explosion. No death. Just silence. Beautiful silence. Impossible silence. Life-saving silence. Loc keeps rolling. Gets fully off mine. Gets to his knees. Gets to his feet. Stands. Looks down at mine. Still there. Still armed. Still live. But not detonated. Not exploded. Not killing. Just there. Defeated by 47 minutes of constant pressure. Defeated by mechanism that seized. Defeated by physics that cooperated. Defeated by everything working impossibly right. High exhales. You're alive. I'm alive. That was stupidest, most insane, most completely wrong thing to do when stepping on mine. And it worked. It actually worked. You violated every rule, every procedure, every doctrine, and you survived, and you saved 75 people. That's going in report. That's going in training. That's going in doctrine. That's everything now. Loc stands there, shaking, processing, understanding. He stepped on mine. He dropped on it. He lay on it for 47 minutes. He rolled off it. He survived. He saved everyone. He did everything wrong. Everything worked. Everything impossible. Everything real. 75 soldiers watch from safe distance. Watch Loc stand up. Watch mine not explode. Watch impossible happen. Watch wrong become right. Watch panic become doctrine. Watch everything. They understand. Loc saved them. Loc's stupid move gave warning. Loc's wrong response prevented casualties. Loc's 47 minutes bought time for clearance. Loc's impossible position became survival. For everyone. For everything. That's what 0755 hours means. That's what April 3rd, 1971 proves. That's what Tran Van Loc's stupid move accomplished. That's everything. Aftermath. New doctrine engineer specialist Nguyen Van Hai writes detailed report. Documents everything. Loc's response, body position, pressure distribution, time duration, mechanism seizure, survival, everything. Report concludes, standard response to pressure hold mine activation is freeze and wait for combat engineer. This response almost always results in casualty due to exhaustion-induced movement or enemy action during waiting period.
Private Tran demonstrated alternative response, immediate prone position maintaining pressure through body weight distribution. This response prevented immediate detonation, provided warning to unit without casualty, and allowed time for combat engineer support. After 47 minutes of constant pressure, mine mechanism seized, allowing safe extraction. Recommend incorporating prone hold technique into training as alternative to freeze response for pressure hold mine activation. Report is reviewed, analyzed, debated. Engineers argue it's too dangerous, too risky, too dependent on variables, might work once, might not replicate, might encourage risky behavior, might get soldiers killed trying to copy unique success. But report is also compelling. 75 soldiers survived minefield, 0 casualties.
All because one private did wrong thing that worked. All because panic response proved better than trained response. All because stupid became brilliant. All because everything impossible became everything real. Command decides, test it, controlled conditions, training environment, dummy mines, instrumented pressure plates, multiple attempts, multiple soldiers, document results, understand physics, determine if Loc's survival was luck or replicable technique. Tests run over 2 months, May-June 1971, 50 soldiers, 50 attempts, prone hold technique on pressure hold training mines, controlled environment, professional supervision, everything safe, everything measured, everything documented. Results, 50 attempts, all successful, no detonations during prone hold position, average hold time, 35 minutes before exhaustion.
Longest hold time, 73 minutes. Shortest hold time, 18 minutes. All soldiers maintained pressure successfully during hold period. All soldiers extracted safely using gradual roll technique. 0 injuries, 0 casualties, 0 failures. Conclusion: prone hold technique is replicable, works consistently, provides alternative to freeze response, allows time for combat engineer support, enables unit warning without casualty, prevents minefield entry by multiple soldiers, saves lives through individual sacrifice plus survival chance. Recommend adoption as trained response alternative. July 1971. Prone hold technique added to North Vietnamese Army training doctrine. All infantry soldiers trained, all combat engineers briefed, all units educated. Technique named Loc's Drop after Private Tran Van Loc. Official doctrine, official procedure. Official survival technique born from stupid move. 1971, 1973. Combat results. Over 2 years, North Vietnamese soldiers activate pressure hold mines 89 times. 89 soldiers step on death. 89 clicks, 89 decisions. Standard freeze response, 31 soldiers. Waited for combat engineer. All died, either from exhaustion causing involuntary movement, or from enemy fire while frozen, or from combat engineer inability to reach position safely, or from detonation during defusal attempt. 0 survivals from freeze response, 31 deaths from following doctrine, from doing what training taught,
from following rules, from everything right becoming everything dead. Loc's drop response: 58 soldiers, dropped prone, maintained pressure, waited for engineer, held position, survived. Results: 58 attempts.
51 successful holds, 87.9% success rate. Average hold time, 41 minutes. 7 detonations during drop, 12.1% failure rate. 3 deaths, 4 survivals with injuries, 51 soldiers extracted safely, 51 lives saved by technique. 51 survivals that shouldn't exist. 51 people alive because wrong became right, because panic became doctrine, because Loc's stupid move became everyone's survival technique. 3 deaths from Loc's drop, 31 deaths from standard freeze. Loc's drop 5% fatality rate, standard freeze 100% fatality rate, difference 95%. That's why technique becomes doctrine. That's why stupid becomes brilliant. That's why wrong becomes standard. That's why Loc's drop saves lives. That's why everything works. That's why numbers matter. That's everything. Additional effect: unit casualties from minefield entry reduced.
Because Loc's drop provides warning without killing person who provides warning. Because first soldier survives while alerting everyone else. Because casualties don't accumulate from multiple soldiers entering field. Because one person's survival saves everyone else's life. Indirect benefit, cascading effect, system-level improvement. All from one stupid move. All from wrong becoming right. All from panic becoming doctrine. All from everything impossible becoming everything real. Today, Tran Van Loc, age 72. Loc is old now, retired, living in Hanoi, quietly, normally, anonymously. Except for one thing, except for technique named after him, except for doctrine born from his panic, except for 51 lives saved by his stupid move, except for everything. When asked about April 3rd, 1971, Loc says, "I panicked. That's truth. Heard click.
Felt compression, knew I was on mine, knew I should freeze, knew that was training, knew that was doctrine, but I panicked, just fell, just dropped, didn't think, didn't plan, didn't decide, just panic response, just wrong response, just stupid response, and it worked, and I survived, and 75 people survived because of it. That's not heroism, that's not tactical genius, that's just panic that happened to work. That's luck, that's physics, that's everything except what people think it was. But when pressed about the technique, about the doctrine, about the 51 lives saved, Loc acknowledges the impact. 3 people died trying my technique. 3 soldiers who dropped on mine like I did, who held position like I did, who waited for engineer like I did, but mine detonated anyway. But mechanism didn't seize. But physics didn't cooperate, but they died trying what I did. Died because my panic response became their trained response. Died because my luck became their doctrine. Died because I survived and they didn't. Those 3 deaths are on me. Not directly, not intentionally, but on me. Because technique is named after me. Because I demonstrated it. Because I survived it. Because everyone thought it would work because it worked for me. And it did work. 51 times it worked. But 3 times it didn't, and those 3 died. And that's on me, forever. But 51 survived who wouldn't have. 51 people alive because panic response became trained response. 51 people who would have frozen, who would have waited, who would have died like those 31 who followed standard doctrine. 51 survivals versus 31 deaths. That's math.
That's statistics. That's proof that wrong became right. That stupid became smart. That panic became survival. That's what April 3rd, 1971 means. That's what Loc's drop is. That's what I carry. 3 deaths, 51 survivals, 1 stupid move, 1 impossible survival, 1 panic response, 1 doctrine, 1 everything, forever. Loc's drop is still taught today, not in active combat training. Modern mines have different mechanisms, different triggers, different physics, but as historical example, as case study, as proof that sometimes training is wrong, sometimes panic is right, sometimes impossible works, sometimes stupid becomes brilliant, sometimes everything we think we know is less important than instinct that works. Sometimes physics cooperates with desperation, sometimes wrong becomes right.
Sometimes everything impossible becomes everything real. That's Loc's drop. That's April 3rd, 1971. That's 47 minutes on mine. That's 51 survivals. That's 3 deaths. That's 1 private's panic response that became doctrine. That's 1 stupid move that saved 75 men in Minefield. That's everything wrong working perfectly right. That's everything impossible becoming everything real. That's legacy. That's burden. That's what Tran Van Loc carries. 3 deaths, 51 survivals, 1 panic, 1 drop, 1 mine, 1 impossible moment, 1 technique, 1 doctrine, 1 everything, forever. The physics of Loc's drop. Here's what actually happens when soldier lies on pressure hold mine. M14 mine requires 9 to 16 kilon pressure to activate. Pressure compresses plate. Firing pin strikes detonator. Fuse arms. Mine doesn't explode immediately.
Mine explodes when pressure releases, when weight lifts, when soldier tries to step away. Standing soldier, 70 kg body weight focused through boot sole, approximately 150 cm contact area. Pressure 0.47 kN cm2. Sufficient to activate mine, sufficient to arm fuse, sufficient to create trigger condition. Prone soldier, 70 kg body weight distributed across torso, approximately 4,500 cm in contact area. Pressure 0.047 kg cm2. Much lower pressure per unit area, but total weight on pressure plate unchanged. Compression maintained, fuse armed, detonation prevented by constant pressure. The difference, distribution. Standing creates high pressure, small area. Prone creates low pressure, large area. But both maintain compression, both keep fuse armed, both prevent detonation through constant weight. Different physics, same result.
Pressure maintained, life continued, duration matters. Constant pressure over time creates adhesion, metal on metal contact, molecular bonding, surface friction, cold welding. After 30-50 minutes, mechanism partially seizes, spring loses tension, release doesn't trigger properly, detonation less likely, not impossible, but less likely. Physics cooperates, sometimes. 47 minutes, Loc's hold time, sufficient for partial seizure, sufficient for mechanism dysfunction, sufficient for survival through gradual release, sufficient for everything working impossibly right. 41 minutes, average hold time for 51 successful attempts, sufficient for most seizures, sufficient for most survivals, sufficient for technique working, sufficient for doctrine succeeding, sufficient for lives being saved, sufficient for everything.
18 minutes, shortest successful hold time, barely sufficient, marginal seizure, lucky survival, but survival nonetheless. Proof that even short duration helps, proof that technique works, proof that distribution matters, proof that physics cooperates, sometimes. That's physics of Loc's drop. That's science behind stupid move. That's reason panic became doctrine. That's how impossible became real. That's why technique works. That's why soldiers survive. That's why 51 lived while 31 died. That's why numbers matter. That's why physics matters. That's why everything matters. Simple physics, weight distribution, constant pressure, mechanism seizure, gradual release, survival, that's equation, that's formula, That's weapon against death. That's how one private's panic became everyone's survival. That's how wrong became right. That's how stupid became brilliant. That's how everything worked. That's everything. Forever.